The 2024 NCAA baseball tournament is set, man. It has been revealed. It was revealed today at noon Eastern time. I glanced at it one time. I didn't see the whole bracket. I saw from Tennessee down to LSU. I stopped watching at LSU. And I just now glanced at this side of the bracket. I didn't fully take in everything though, but this is gonna be my predictions for the tournament coming up, starting this week. And man, I'm ready for it. It's gonna be a good one, I think. So let's just start this off. Let's just zoom in a lot here because it's very small font, and I have glasses, so obviously I can't see shit anyway. Text. All right, so we have Tennessee, Northern Kentucky, Indiana, and Southern Miss, and the Knoxville regional. It's a pretty tough regional, man. You got Southern Miss here, so if Tennessee and Southern Miss both win their games, they would meet in the 1-0 game. That would be a really good freaking game. Who would I take to win this whole regional? I gotta go with the Vols, man. I am very high on tennis. That's blue font for some reason, but we'll just go with that. The Vols, I picked them to win the SEC tournament, and that is what happened. So I'm very high on them. They're a very elite team. They got the bats, they got the pitching, they got the defense, man. They got it all. They got everybody in their lineup can hit bombs on you. I mean, if one play, like for example, if Blake Burke or Christian Moore, or Amick go on like a little bit of a slump, then you have 8 other guys. Or if 2 of them go on a slump, you have 7 other guys who can really hurt you, man. It's just crazy how stacked their lineup is. So yeah, Tennessee, I would honestly say at this point is an Omaha lock for me. Yeah, Tennessee is damn good, man. So yeah, I'll have Tennessee winning that regional. The only team I can see giving them issues would be Southern Miss. But I think Southern Miss can make it interesting. But I think ultimately Tennessee is gonna be that regional champion. So matched up with the Knoxville regional will be East Carolina, Evansville, VCU, and Wake Forest. Whew, that would be, dude, Wake Forest and Tennessee here. Oh man, Chase Burns going up against his former team. Whew, the storylines. I think Wake Forest actually will pull this out. East Carolina is really good. But I do think Wake Forest, didn't have as good of a regular season as people thought they would have. But man, that's still a hell of a freaking team. I'm gonna go with Wake Forest to win this regional here, and they will match up with Tennessee in the supers. Oh, dude, I'm getting pumped up about that possibility. Alright, we move down to the next regional here. We got Oklahoma, Oral Roberts. Man, Oral Roberts, another appearance. Are they gonna play spoiler again? UConn and Duke. I'm surprised Duke and Mississippi State were 2 teams that I'm surprised weren't hosts. I thought Mississippi State especially should have been a host. I thought they got kind of screwed there, not gonna lie to you. However, Duke and I'm gonna go with Duke. I think Duke. I'm pretty confident in that as well. I'm pretty confident in Duke taking down Oklahoma in that regional. I don't think UConn and Oral Roberts are going to have much success against those 2 teams, but I am pretty confident in Duke. Man, they're a really good team. They were top 10 at one point in the country, maybe top 5 after they beat Wake Forest in the first ACC Conference Series of the Year for both those teams. Duke took down Wake Forest 2 out of 3. I believe they might have been top 5, top 6. I'm not sure. They were up there though. So they have that potential. Moving down to the Tallahassee regional, matched up with the Norman one. Florida State, Stetson, UCF, and Alabama. My goodness. That's a tough one. That's a tough regional, man. Um, Florida State. Besides Florida State, Florida State obviously I think has, they're like the next level up. But these three teams here, man, I put them on like the same tier. That's really close. I would not be surprised if Stetson, um, was the second best team in this regional here. Um, Florida State though, man, their offense is disgusting. I've reacted to them a few times. And the times I reacted to them, their pitching was not that great. I don't, obviously, that was just a few times, so I don't exactly know. I'm gonna try not to let that, sway my opinion of them. I do know that their offense is really freaking good, really powerful. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Cause I watched their Florida State versus, was it Clemson? And their pitching was struggling in that series. So I'm gonna go with Florida State though. I'm pretty confident as we have an ACC super regional there between Duke and Florida State. Moving down, we got the freaking Pigs of Arkansas. Southeastern Missouri State, Kansas State, and Louisiana Tech. Arkansas, your bats. That's all I'm gonna say. Your bats, man. They gotta be consistent. They gotta work. Your bats gotta work. If your bats are not doing their job, you will have a tough time getting out of this regional. You may get out of this regional with your bats not being up to par, like how they should be. You may get out of this regional and survive that, but I don't know if you would survive a super regional against like a Virginia or something. Mississippi State would even be really tough if your bats are not working, man. Mississippi State was very close to beating Arkansas in a 2 out of 3 in the regular season. But they blew, what was it, like a 6-0 lead in the game 3 of that series. Arkansas, I'm tempted to pick Louisiana Tech because I've been waiting on Arkansas's bats to happen, for there to be something to make me feel good about them, and it hasn't happened. So I'm tempted to pick Louisiana Tech, but I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to Arkansas, man. They're the best. They're the most talented by far. The most talented team in this regional. And I'm just gonna, I don't want Arkansas to win as an LSU fan. I don't want them to. But I think, that their pitching will be enough to get them out of this. I would not be surprised if Louisiana Tech would to win this one. Or Kansas State, possibly. I would not be shocked, man. Because if Arkansas can figure out those bats, man, they could be an Omaha lock, to be honest. Virginia, Penn, St. John's, and Mississippi State. Virginia, really good offense, man. I think they'll take care of Penn. Mississippi State and St. John's, that should be a good game. St. John's beat Florida in what was supposed to be a 3-game series, the very first, at the very start of the college baseball season. There was supposed to be a 3-game series between St. John's and Florida. St. John's beat Florida in that game 1, but the other 2 got canceled due to weather. So St. John's has I don't know if it's considered a series win or what, but it's a win over Florida. Florida didn't pan out how people thought they would. They were number 1 at the time to start the season, but this will be a tough game, a tough game between Mississippi State and St. John's. If it's St. John's that wins and gets to play Virginia, I think Mississippi State would give Virginia more of a run for their money than St. John's would. Man, I'm high on Mississippi State. Duh, but Mississippi State's offense is kind of inconsistent at the moment as well. I gotta go with Virginia, man. I don't know. I gotta go with Virginia. I feel like I would regret it if I don't, so. Alright, moving on, so I don't want to change my mind. Arizona, Grand Canyon, West Virginia, and DBU, my goodness. I would not want to see Grand Canyon if I was Arizona. And I definitely don't want to see DBU. A very consistent team, not even just this year, but recent years as well. Just very consistently good. I mean, they're 44-13, man. I'm gonna go with DBU out of this one. They're like I said, they're very consistent, and if they get hot, I think they for sure would win this regional. Even though Arizona and LSU in Super Regional, Jay Johnson going up against his former team would be, like this Tennessee Wake Forest, it would draw storyline after storyline. I think DBU will ultimately prevail in this one. North Carolina, Long Island, I think that is, Wofford, and LSU, man. Oh, my boy's got a tough draw. My boy's got a very tough draw, man. But LSU is hot right now. LSU is very hot. And, I really think playing in the SEC, man, and having that gauntlet when they went through the SEC tournament just now, or the last week, it's gonna not just LSU, that's gonna prepare every SEC team. Playing through that conference schedule in the SEC, man, it really wears you down, but it prepares you for these types of tournaments. It prepares you for this. You're not gonna play many teams better than what you're playing week in and week out in the SEC. Wofford is a tough matchup. A tough matchup, man. And so would North Carolina be, man. Oh, man. Whew. Man, I do think we still got some magic in us, not gonna lie to you. See, this is what in the SEC, in my SEC tournament predictions, I didn't pick LSU to go to the semifinals of that because I thought I was letting my bias get in the way. They proved me wrong and made it to the championship game, so I ain't gonna let that happen again, man. I'm going with my boys. I think we can beat North Carolina. I really do. I've watched them a couple times. They're really freaking good. But I think we can do it, man. I think we can get out of this. It'd be great if Long Island, if that's who that is, can knock off North Carolina. And, we beat Wofford and we play Long Island. That would be nice. That would be really nice. And we play Long Island in a 1-0. That would be beautiful. Come on, Long Island. Alright, moving up here. Kentucky, Western Michigan, Illinois, and Indiana State. Indiana State's a tough draw, the 2 seed. However, I ain't too worried about it. I cannot type, I swear to God. Yeah, I got Kentucky, man. That's a pretty easy one for me. Especially if Kentucky's offense can be as dominant as I know they can be and as I have seen them be. I mean, this team has put up 17 runs 2 or 3 times from what I have watched. Yeah, if that offense gets hot, man, they're really good. Their pitching, from what I've seen, is pretty selectively good, in spots. It just depends on their starting pitcher, it seems. But I think that'll be enough to get them out of this regional here. On to the next, we got Oregon State. Man, every time I see that team, I'm just, I'm thinking they're going to go on a run. But Tulane, Nichols, UC Irvine. I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm going to go Oregon State, man. Again, another very consistent... I'm just going to do this. Another very consistent team. Oregon State, year in, year out, man. They're always there. They're always up there. And they are hosting again. So, yeah, Oregon State. I don't really... UC Irvine, or, I don't see Tulane or Nichols doing much. But I guess they could, there could be some surprises. There could be some upsets. That's why you play the games. But I do see Oregon State getting out of that one. NC State, Bryant, James Madison, and South Carolina. South Carolina, very hot. Very, very hot. At least, what's his face is. I can't even think of his name right now. Messina. Very hot, one of the hottest players in college baseball at the moment. This is where I'm gonna pick my first winner that is not a 1 or a 2 seed. I'm gonna go with James Madison. I don't know anything about them. I know zip. But I know that I'm doing this based on how successful their athletics program has been in, every sport pretty much that I've seen. So that's what I'm basing that off of. Very good analysis, Luke. Very good analysis. But yeah, that's my thought process. They have been very successful athletically across all sports pretty much. So, especially in football. That team just going up to the Division 1 level, man, wow. The success that they're having, even though they just lost their coach to Indiana. I think they're still going to be up there, but this is not a football video, Luke. Get on with baseball. Yeah, James Madison. I feel pretty confident in that one as well. Moving on, matched up with that regional will be Georgia Army, Georgia Tech, and UNC Wilmington. Is it Georgia Tech that has that one guy that was like hitting bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb earlier in the season? I haven't heard much about him ever since then. I knew his name, I don't remember it anymore though, but yeah, I haven't heard about him in like a month or two, or whenever he was doing that, going crazy. I'm gonna go Georgia. Yeah, I'm gonna go Georgia. I don't really see that one being too close either, to be honest with you. I see them winning that one pretty comfortably. Clemson, High Point, Coastal Carolina, Vanderbilt. Clemson. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Clemson. I've seen them a couple times this year. They're probably one of the teams I've watched the most outside of the SEC. Really freaking good offense and pitching. Yeah, their center fielder, I think it is, who was making play after play when I was watching them too. I see Clemson getting out of that one, man. Vandy could give them a run for their money. They could stir up some issues for Clemson for sure. If it's not Clemson, it's Vandy, to be honest. And Vandy's playing good baseball right now, too. Playing really good baseball. They made it to the semifinals of the SEC tournament. And they surprised me. They played way better than I thought they would. But yeah, I'll go with Clemson in that one. Oklahoma State, Niagara, Florida, and Nebraska. I wouldn't be shocked if Florida would win this. As much as I don't like Florida, they're not a team that anybody wants to see in their regional, even with this record. They are one of the, when it comes to talent, they are, up there with the best of them. They just haven't put it all together, or whatever the problem is, that it hasn't worked. Nebraska, surprised I had a pretty good season too. I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about Oklahoma State. I really only pay attention to the SEC mainly, if you haven't noticed. Um, mm, this is a tough one. I want to pick a 4 seed at some point. And if it's not this one, I don't know who it would be. You know what? Since I'm so up in the air, I'm doing it. I'm going Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, man. They're gonna get the win there in that regional. That's a silly pick, but I'm going with it. And if it works, I look like a genius. So, UC Santa Barbara, Fresno State, Oregon, San Diego. Man, this is hard when you don't know anything about these teams, man. You know, I'm just gonna go UCSB. Sure. A&M, Grambling, Texas, and Louisiana. Oh my god, what a regional, dude! Texas and Louisiana? In A&M's regional? Isn't A&M like the number 3 overall seed? Or am I tripping on that? I think Carolina's 4, aren't they? Isn't it Tennessee, Kentucky, A&M, Carolina? And they have Texas and Louisiana? Of course Texas would be in A&M's regional. Of course. Whew! Oh my god. A&M has been struggling too. A&M has been struggling. Is this when Texas gets hot? Could Louisiana shock people? Oh no, man. I don't know. I don't know. I want to think that A&M would get it figured out, but if they don't, they're going to lose. They went 0-2 in the SEC tournament, man. Shit. I'm stuck between 3, man. Alright, since I have no idea, and I really cannot decide, I'm gonna spin the wheel. Let's see. Who am I gonna pick to win this? Honestly, it can be... Ooh! Oh my, okay. Louisiana it is. We're going with Louisiana. So, where was I at? Here. Okay. Louisiana, congratulations, man. You, as a 2-seed, are moving on. Let me get that out of there, because having tabs open I'm not using bugs me. Alright, so that is the, the regionals. Now we get to the super regionals. Tennessee and Wake Forest. They don't have Omaha in here, which is weird. So I guess I'll just, make it up as I go. Tennessee and Wake Forest in a best of 3 series. Oh man, this will be so good. I hope this happens. I really hope this happens. Oh, it'd be at Tennessee. Man, I would go with Tennessee. At Tennessee is a really tough place to play. The crowd's gonna be super into it, especially when Chase Burns is on the mound. Oh, yeah. Tennessee would give him hell. So if that rattles him and they can beat Chase Burns, yeah, I feel pretty confident in Tennessee, man. Duke and Florida State. And this video is gonna be massively long at this point, probably, so I probably should just, try to speed this up. Duke and Florida State. I would pick... Duke's really good, but I would go FSU to move on. And we got Arkansas, Virginia. I think this is where Arkansas's road ends. Because if you don't have offense to be able to keep up with Virginia, you are going to lose. You're going to be in trouble with Virginia, or Arkansas. So, Virginia has a top 5 offense, in some metrics, so Arkansas, you'll need to have your act together if you want to beat Virginia. DBU and LSU. Wow, isn't this a matchup? LSU calls themselves DBU in football, man. Now they're playing them. So, man, God, I need to fight my demons. If it's best out of 3, Gage and freaking Gage Jump and Luke Hallman. There's no 2 starting pitchers playing better in the country than them right now. DBU would give us hell. They would give me hell when I'm watching it. But there's no better 2 pitchers than Gage Jump and Luke Hallman. And we've been winning our game 3s. You know, with our game 3 staff on the mound. Man, I'm just telling you. I'm not doubting my boys anymore. If I have a feeling they can win, I'm picking them. I'm not going against it. And trust me, I know when games are iffy and they may not win. I know. And I would pick against them. I have. I did it in the SEC tournament. Kentucky and Oregon State. Not gonna lie. Oregon State is so tempting. It's at Kentucky. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Damn, I cannot type, huh? Sad. Don't hate me, Kentucky fans. It could go either way. I just see Oregon State, man, and I find it very hard to believe they would lose in a 3-game series here. I find it really hard to believe. It's just a tough draw. A really tough draw. But again, I would not be shocked if y'all won. So, James Madison and Georgia. Does James Madison's magic continue in a 3-game series? It'd be at Georgia. Wait, would that be at Kentucky? Yeah, it would be. Yes, it would be. Damn, man. I gotta go with Georgia. I gotta go with Georgia. I can't not. Clemson and Niagara. Yeah, I made that one easy for myself. Clemson will take down Niagara Falls. UC Santa Barbara and Louisiana. I would go with Louisiana here. Now back up top here, so, alright. So how am I gonna do this? They did not put, they didn't put the rest of the tournament in here. So here's what I'll do. Here's what to do. I'll go through these 8 teams here, and I will just pick who I think will win the national championship. Let me zoom out. I'll just pick who I think will win the Natty. I'm gonna type it right here. Tennessee, Florida State, Virginia, LSU, Louisiana, Clemson, Georgia, Oregon State. It's a really good Omaha. Let me just say this. I can legitimately see Clemson. I can legitimately see Tennessee. I can legitimately see Oregon State. Okay. I picked Tennessee to win the SEC tournament. And my feeling is still there about this team, man. My feeling is still there about this team that they can get it done. So, I'm gonna go with Tennessee to win the national championship. Now, like, it's Tennessee, and I was really close to picking Oregon State. And I was really close to picking Clemson. It's not a big gap at all. Florida State is another team that could also make some damage. I think LSU could do something, but I don't think they have the pitching staff to win the national championship. I'm just being honest. Getting to Omaha would make me happy. I'm happy right now. Like, if we lost in the regional, I would be happy with that. Like, with how the season went. It would suck, but I'd be happy with it. But Tennessee, the most complete team in college baseball, in my opinion. I cannot pick against them. I can't. So, my national champion is Tennessee. I was correct in my SEC tournament predictions. They're the #1 overall seed, and they may never win it, though. Screw it. Tennessee's doing it, man. They're gonna be the first #1 overall seed, and who knows how long. Certainly it's not ever, right? Surely a 1 seed, a #1 overall seed has won it before. I can't remember the exact stat of what that is, like how long it's been, but Tennessee's gonna get it done, man. Congrats to the Vols. Y'all are gonna be the 2024 national champions. And, yep, the national championship will be staying in the SEC. It goes from LSU to Tennessee, man, so... Get ready to see a perfect bracket is all I got to say.